Attorney Basil Williams and opposition leader Barry Jagdeo accuse each other of violence. Policeman shoots murder suspect. Taxi driver dies trying to receive his money. In the region, Puerto Rico's leadership crisis, and internationally, U.S.-China trade war heats up. Greetings and welcome to this edition of Headline News Update. I am Baby Bacchus. Thank you for joining us. A suspect in the murder of Reginald Reggie Atterley, a mechanic of Guyana Park, Isla Penitence, was shot in his leg by police on Sunday night at the Stabroek Market Square. 36-year-old Marlon Bradley, known to the police to be residing both in Isla Penitence, Georgetown, and Good Fortune, West Bank, Demerara, was seen by police ranks heading to the Route 31 minibus park. In an attempt to arrest him, he brandished a gun and pointed it at the police officer. Another police constable drew his service pistol and fired at Bradley, hitting him in his leg. A search of the suspect revealed a .32 Taurus pistol with 8 matching rounds. He was taken to the GPAC where he was treated and is in police custody. A woman in a Route 42 minibus was robbed while on her way to work. Esther Sobers reports.
Traumatized, hurt, and fearful for her safety are some of the thoughts of 32-year-old Chanel Cordoran, who was robbed on Tuesday morning of her gold chain whilst being a passenger of a Route 42 minibus.
When I entered this bus, a young man entered the bus behind me, and we were in the bus sitting. I was behind the conductor, and he was sitting a seat away from me. And while we reached, it was Middle Street, the young man said he's coming off here. At that time I had my head down. So I raised up, and when I raised up, all I felt a force coming to my chest, and this young man grabbed my chain and he ran with it while everybody in the bus left in surprise. I was shocked too.
The man, who is in his 30s, made good of his escape through Middle Road, Maldoom, East Bank, Demerara. Cordoran immediately made a report at the police outpost in Maldoom. Cordoran provided a description of the suspect, and the police is working to apprehend him. The officers from the station said that it is a usual occurrence for thieves to steal from passengers in buses and escaping through Middle Road.
His face is round and he's medium built. At that time he was wearing a blue long sleeve shirt here, and he was red with a blue pants.
With the scars on her neck and just the fragments of the chain in her hand, Cordoran said she's grateful for her life and hopes that the suspect will be apprehended soon. If you or anyone you know may have information that may lead to the arrest of the individual, you should visit or contact the nearest police station. For Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. Coming up after the break, politicians decry each other of violence as elections near, and taxi driver dies trying to receive his money.
Did you know that John Lewis Styles carries back-to-school items? Besides clothing and footwear, you can also get lunch bags from $3,500, backpacks from $4,500, and pulley backpacks from $10,995, all for the same price or less than buying online, and it's already here. Also, get a chance to win one RCA tablet every week in August. Enter to win with every $5,000 you spend. That's 4 tablets you can Google homework with. John Lewis Styles. Simply different.
The Guyana Elections Commission will commence house-to-house registration in your area soon. You must register if you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or registration. 14 years and older by the 31st of October 2019, a citizen of a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for a period of no less than 1 year preceding the qualifying date. If you were previously registered, you will need to register again. Look out for GCOM. Make it your responsibility to get registered. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-0277-9 or 223-9653. Email pro@gcom.org.gy. Contact the nearest GCOM registration office or visit our website www.gcom.org.gy.
Wouldn't it be nice if we didn't have so much waste to dispose of in the landfill? Well, composting can help us reduce the waste we dispose of by turning our organic waste into compost, which can be used to improve the quality of our soil.
Composting is very simple and convenient.
You can compost using organic waste such as vegetable skins,
or fallen leaves and cut grass and put this in a composting bin or pile.
Compost can help your garden grow healthy plants while reducing your volume of waste. It's a really good way to keep our communities clean and healthy.
So, let's all start composting our waste.
Find out how easy it is. Call us on 226-2189 or 227-8429 or visit our website moc.gov.gy. A message from the Ministry of Communities in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
Welcome back. The government and the PPP accuse each other of violence as the political fallout over the no confidence motion continues. Wendell Jeffrey has more.
Attorney General Basil Williams is claiming that the PPP has libeled him when they published in an online press release that he was threatening violence. Williams said that all he was doing is pointing to the PPPC's sordid record in government with 3 massacres and their alleged operation of several state-sponsored death squads. Yesterday, a PPP statement condemned the alleged threats of violence by Williams, when on a panel discussion, Williams said that there will be dire consequences if the house-to-house registration is halted. The PPP is contending that it is erroneous for the minister to suggest that house-to-house registration is the only means for obtaining a credible voters list. Pointing to the PPP's Marxist-Leninist beginnings, the Legal Affairs Minister rebuffed the PPP's claim and suggested that they do not have the credibility to speak about national violence. Williams said the PPPC presided over the worst kinds of violence ever seen in the history of Guyana or any CARICOM member state. Extrajudicial killings conducted by a variety of state-sponsored death squads, including the Black Clothes Squad, Gadraj Squad, and the Phantom Squad. The Attorney General said that the PPPC's reign of terror left over 900 dead. In its wake included its own minister, Satyadeo Saw, for which no inquest or inquiry was held. Jack Dio, at several of his press conferences, has persistently taunted the coalition government for their inability to find proof that the PPP was responsible for any of those killings. Refocusing on the issue at hand, Williams noted, no amount of propaganda could, however, change the CCJ's refusal to grant coercive orders sought by the PPPC against the President, the Parliament, or GCOM. For Channel 2 Headline News, Wendell Jeffrey.
Thanks, Wendell. A taxi driver was murdered after he was only seeking to collect his payment for the service he provided. Esther Sobers brings you that tragic story.
He don't make joke with his money.
Police are working to apprehend the suspects involved in the murder of 34-year-old Owen Lynch. Lynch, a taxi driver of motorcar PRR 3313, a black Toyota Itz from Swiss Cabs, was hired last evening to pick up a passenger destined to Mocha Arcadia, East Demerara. It is believed that the passenger refused to pay the taxi fare, which resulted in Lynch trying to retrieve his money. However, at about 21:45 hours, the victim was found motionless on Cemetery Road, Mocha Arcadia, in a pool of blood with multiple stab wounds. Headline News had visited the scene. Many of the residents in Mocha Arcadia are tight-lipped about what transpired last night, but however, they are suggesting that the man involved in the incident, he was not a resident of this area. Channel 2 Headline News made contact with the victim's grieving mother, Corinne Hillman, who noted that her son has only been a taxi driver for 2 years, and he was working to pay for his 2 children airfare to return to Guyana to spend the August vacation with him.
He always just say that his money is for my children. Them. He have 2 children and they don't live here. But he always say he working to mine and his children them. I have a receipt recently where he sent money for his children to come home only Saturday for them to come home. So it's a great loss to me, a real great loss to me.
Police was able to retrieve an ice pick at the crime scene. As police investigations are ongoing, it was only a few days ago that a taxi driver was shot by men in Agricola after a passenger had departed his car. For Headline News, Esther Sobers.
Thanks, Esther. When we return, Puerto Rico's leadership crisis and U.S. trade war heats up.
That is not what we were taught at the Green Generation Guyana camp.
Is this the correct way to do it? Drivers, you have 2 options that you can use. First, you can temporarily put your empty plastic bottles in the trunk of your vehicle or on the ground on the passenger side next to you. Or secondly, place them in the nearest garbage bin you see. We need you to play your part in helping us keep the environment clean and healthy. A message from the Ministry of Communities, Green Generation Guyana Sanitation Program. For more information, please contact us on 592-227-2605, or you may find us on the World Wide Web at www.moc.gov.gy.
Welcome to Kissoon's Furniture. Find everything you need for your home and more under one roof in our newly decorated showroom. Our locally crafted furniture has been perfected over the last 60 years. From our hands to your home, we also bring to you our newly introduced lines of imported furniture and sleep center, where you can find a wide range of beds and mattresses. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 60 years.
The Guyana Elections Commission will commence house-to-house registration in your area soon. You must register if you are a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or registration. 14 years and older by the 31st of October 2019, a citizen of a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for a period of no less than 1 year preceding the qualifying date. If you were previously registered, you will need to register again. Look out for GCOM. Make it your responsibility to get registered. For more information, contact GCOM on 225-0277-9 or 223-9653. Email pro@gcom.org.gy. Contact the nearest GCOM registration office or visit our website www.gcom.org.gy.
Did you know that John Lewis Styles carries back-to-school items? Besides clothing and footwear, you can also get lunch bags from $3,500, backpacks from $4,500, and pulley backpacks from $10,995, all for the same price or less than buying online, and it's already here. Also, get a chance to win one RCA tablet every week in August. Enter to win with every $5,000 you spend. That's 4 tablets you can Google homework with. John Lewis Styles, simply different.
Welcome back. Puerto Rico is entering its 4th week of a political crisis. The United States territory has...
Street protests like this pushed out the Puerto Rico governor. But the fate of the new one, Pedro Pierluisi, is now in limbo. His fate now rests with 9 justices of the Supreme Court who will decide if he's a legitimate governor after the Senate filed a lawsuit saying he was sworn in prematurely last Friday without their confirmation. The court is expected to hand down a ruling any day. In a press conference, Pierluisi said the Supreme Court would now be the last word on the matter. I then asked him this.
If the Supreme Court rules against you, are you going to resign immediately, or are you going to wait?
I guess I'll have to. I don't know what the ruling will be, but we should just wait for the ruling. It'll speak for itself. But the Supreme Court will decide it. I trust them, and they'll do the right thing for Puerto Rico.
Many legal minds think Pierluisi acted unconstitutionally. The Puerto Rican Bar Association has been around for over 170 years. Aside from the Supreme Court, it's probably the most prestigious legal body here on the island. And their opinion on the current situation is very clear.
It is the belief of the Puerto Rico Bar that he is illegitimate as governor in this moment. And let's see how the Supreme Court of Puerto Rico decides, maybe today or in the next days. We are a part of the issue. We will be trying to help the court understand the constitutional issue, but always remembering one thing. This is not only a legal issue. It's not only about jurisprudence. This is about the people of Puerto Rico who are still suffering from some economic, humanitarian crisis. And how does this affect the people of Puerto Rico? That is very important for us.
If the court rules against Pierluisi and he resigns, street protests like this could erupt again. Gabriel Zondo, Al Jazeera, San Juan, Puerto Rico.
And in international news, U.S. stocks fell in the worst trading day of the year on Monday after China allowed the value of the yuan to sink to an 11-year low. Al Jazeera's Scott Heidler reports.
A new battleground in the intensifying trade war between the world's 2 largest economies, currency valuation. The Chinese government eased its control over the yuan, allowing the currency to surpass the 7 per US dollar level for the first time in more than a decade. That prompted the U.S. Treasury Department to designate China as a currency manipulator, something it hasn't done in 25 years. With the yuan worth less, Chinese exports become cheaper, allowing to compete better in the U.S. and across the world, partly offsetting the U.S. tariffs imposed on Chinese imports. But it will come at a cost to Chinese consumers. They will pay more for imports. China's central bank is denying the U.S. accusation, saying it's a protectionist practice. Some economists think China allowing more yuan volatility can only go so far.
China is trying to say that we're not going to be bullied by the U.S. and a small reminder to the escalation of the trade war and what China can do. But a further escalation for China to use exchange rate as a weapon is highly unlikely because when it drops to, say, 7.5 or 8, then it becomes a political issue.
After share prices worldwide fell earlier this week in reaction to China's move, some experts say the view inside China is not as pessimistic and a weaker yuan was expected at some point.
In the past, the U.S. has been hesitant with the currency manipulator label over concern that it could trigger a trade war, but we're already in one, so the consequences are lower. And the negotiations with the International Monetary Fund could take up to a year.
And some feel that the IMF won't act against China despite the U.S. accusation of manipulation.
When he starts mentioning the IMF
The question is, what could he do there? The IMF is a consensual organization. They're not going to take sides. In fact, 2 weeks ago, they already issued their own statement about China's currency, and they said that it is in line with international standards.
Despite the arguments, the U.S. says it's still planning for a visit from a Chinese trade delegation in September. Scott Heidler, Al Jazeera, Beijing.
Now for your 3-day weather forecast. That is all for this edition of Channel 2 Headline News Update. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. for another episode. Don't forget to like and follow us on Facebook or YouTube, or you can visit our website at headlinenewsguyana.com for more news. Until then, take care.